Jacob and I guess I should have done this before, are the trip leaders for Project Hispaniola 2018. And it's really exciting.
It is.
Okay. Welcome to Memoirs of a Med Student. This is
I
Jake.
gotta stop doing faces.
We actually just got back from our clinician ceremony, so it's literally been the most exciting day. I looked good 20 minutes ago, but it's cold and it's rainy and it's windy, so we look a hot mess now. But this is Jacob. You want to introduce yourself, Jacob?
Sure. I'm Jacob Creighton, Olive's friend, classmate, and co-leader for our trip. I think that's what we're going to be talking about today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our upcoming trip.
Mm-hmm.
Second year student, just like Olive, and did my graduate school and undergraduate education at Baylor University in Waco. But happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. So then fast forward to, were we friends before we went on the global health trip?
I think we knew of each other and we thought we liked each other, but we
Yeah.
definitely weren't as close. I mean, no one's going to be as close until you spend 3 weeks in a country like
Yeah, going there was an amazing trip. We had a lot of fun. It was a team of 12 medical students and 5 physical therapy students. We had 2 doctors come with us, 2 doctors of physical therapy, and then Jason, who's our mentor. He's getting his PhD in public health.
Yeah, DRPH. I think there's like PhD in public health and DRPH. And I think DRPH is a little more like practical, whereas the PhD in public health is more like research and academia. So.
DRPH.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up because I don't know what that is. And so it was your first time abroad, so I want to ask you, what was that like for you? First time out of the country?
I think it was good because I didn't have any expectations. I didn't have any kind of comparisons to bring with me. I just knew that it was going to be wholly different from anything I'd ever experienced. So that, I think, I think we talked with Nada as a third year going to be a fourth year soon. She grew up, where did she?
Senegal. She's from Senegal.
Yeah, so she talked about the poverty and the disparity that she had seen, and I think that put her in a position where she felt like she had seen enough. She had seen this before, so she wasn't going to be shocked. So when she got there and she was, and when it did weigh on her like it did, it affected her quite a bit, whereas I was just ready to kind of take it all in. And it did affect me, of course, but it didn't rock my world quite like Nada's, although, I mean, it's hard to imagine.
So to kind of put into perspective, we work with Haitian migrant workers and migrant communities in the Dominican Republic. And I think what made it so hard to deal with is that if you come from a very poor area, you know what poverty is, you've dealt with it. And you see when I went to Haiti, or even people who are poor in Nigeria, people who are poor, a lot of them have some kind of perseverance or strength to them. You just kind of have to have that grit to go with that lifestyle. The people we work with, they're a disenfranchised population. So it's difference between being poor and being disenfranchised, when you feel like you have no hope, no power. So I think that when we would interview these people and talk with them, some of the questions we would ask them would be about depressed substance from the depression scale, and it was just I remember one person told Nada in Haiti I was poor, I was broke poor, but here I am a dog. He's like, I rather be poor, living hand to mouth, than be treated like a dog. Here I don't feel human, and that kind of it was sad. It was really sad.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that was something that impacted me the most, is the resiliency of these people, and it's something that I want to continue to learn about, the actual, what does it mean for someone to be resilient? How do they become resilient? Why is it that some people can put up with the things that they put up with in the Dominican Republic, whereas here, people relatively are saddled with very minimal concerns and yet kind of crumble under them. So that concept of resiliency is really interesting.
Yeah, I co-sign with that. He decided to be a trip leader first, I think. Actually, I knew he was going to be a trip leader. I said it when we were in the DR. I said Jacob was going to be a trip leader. Who was just going to do it with him?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be me. I thought it was going to be one of our Spanish speakers. But Jacob, and he convinced me to do it with him, which is good because we were good friends. We became really good friends in the DR. After 3 weeks with someone, for living with them, busting with them, you become you either hate them or you love them after the
That's
trip.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Our trip got along really well. Me and Jacob, I think we have very drastically different personalities, but we have the same values, so we get along well. Like we're both passionate, we're both there for the right reasons, we both want to be there, and we both care about the people, and I think we're both funny. So we get along well.
I think you're funny, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm funny too. So we get along really well. So I think that it's good that we're trip leaders.
Yeah. I was talking about this last night actually with Claire.
I love Claire.
Yeah. Talking about how just by chance I think our strengths play really well as the co-leaders. I'm not organized whatsoever, and I was extremely organized.
I'm OCD.
To the point that I'm like, damn, I need to step up my game.
No, there's something like I need to calm down because I'm probably annoying him because sometimes I can be too OCD.
No. So it works well, and we make decisions quickly, and I think we're pretty comfortable speaking our minds about things.
We're both very blunt people, which I love because like since I'm very blunt and I'm with someone who's not blunt, I'm scared. I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. I don't ever feel like that with Jacob.
Good. Yeah.
So our first thing we had to do was so it's February, end of February. We found out we were trip leaders in September. And so first thing we had to do was interview and pick the students we would go on the trip with. So what do you have to say about that, the interviewing process?
Our co-leaders from last year tried to prepare us that, it's a kind of a confusing process, and you can't know who you're going to fill your team with on the first round, or the second round, or the third round. But it always works out, and you make a team, and all the people are there because they want to go on a trip and they want to contribute, so you can rely on that. You can be comforted by that. But I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we don't have to worry about it.
We have a final team of 10 med students and 4 PT students. So it's a pretty big team. So then after that, I think one of the hardest things, the next step after you pick your team is getting your team together. So we met at Jacob's home and we got to know a few people. Some of them are MS2s. We have a lot of MS2s, so we kind of know them. But the MS ones you really don't know. You don't know the PT students. And we kind of want to get to know each other because we don't want to go there and we're literally living in each other's armpits for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's not that's not the way you should meet someone for the first time.
Not when you're hot and sweaty and
exactly.
Global health trips are amazing, but they're a lot of work. Like we lived in La Romana, which is a nice area, but we were bused out to a very rural area where they have latrines that are disgusting. You want to be there. It's hot. You're working 8 hours outside, either outside or what's even worse, a room that has has closed windows and there's no air circulating. You're literally dripping sweat into your eyes trying to see a patient, have your iPhone flashlight on, you're trying to listen to a heartbeat and there's someone screaming at the dentist next to you and you're trying to tell your doctor. I think their heart rate is you're trying to tell them something you really can't even know if their breath sounds are normal because you can't hear. So
I struggled so badly just with taking blood pressure because I couldn't hear the ticks. I couldn't hear people's pulse. So.
And that was one thing I had to learn. At first I would be so embarrassed, I didn't know if you take that blood pressure again, it's really high. I don't know if I took it right. And she'd be like, yeah, it's high. After a point, I gotta learn to trust myself and then be like, okay, I didn't get it, I have to do that again. I'm so sorry, let's wait 2 minutes, I'm gonna take your blood pressure again.
That's super important. They talked about that today. They said the fact, you'd think this is crazy, but when anybody's under pressure to perform, sometimes you may have the urge to be like, yeah, I did hear that blood pressure or whatever, but no one's gonna be mad at you for saying, no, could you step in and make sure that this is done right? That's anybody who's honest wants to get the job done the right way. So having that experience that first summer is gonna help us out when we come in the third year.
Yeah, definitely. So that was picking our team, and then fundraising.
Oh gosh. Please donate.
Yeah, the link, I'll put our donation link in the description. Please donate. Even if it's $5, our budget overall for this trip is $3,500. $35,000. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I keep asking. I send Josh a text message once a week, hey man, at this stage, how much money did y'all have? At this stage, what did y'all do?
What does he say?
He's like, I don't know. If you want to meet, we'll talk about it. But he always says that Rourke was the money man.
Yeah.
So we had 2 leaders last year, Josh and Rourke handled the
Thank you
funds.
guys for texting us back.
And I feel like our trip, there's no way that it's more expensive. I don't think everything that we're adding is being donated. So it's just the medications and the translators and the busing, and it adds up.
It adds up a lot. Like
Yeah.
each day we bus out to the back pay is like $150.
Yeah.
So like, and then the medications, we get them from a company that sells it discounted because we're doing like work in the third, again, whatever the case is. But even then, medications add up too. Like
Sure.
we bring all our medications, we bring all our supplies. We pay for the translators who are there. We pay for the additional doctors and dentists who come in our clinic. We pay to be bussed out. We pay for all the extra staff we have. We obviously pay for our flights, our housing, our food, and we give to the people who we service sunglasses, eyeglasses, hats, visors, vitamins. We give out a lot of things, so we pay for that too. And then we pay for the bags that we give them to take home, and like, so it's a lot of stuff in there.
I think it's even harder too when we're in such a big medical center or an academic center like this, because there's literally thousands of projects that are going on, and all of them need resources and money in some capacity. So and the people that are donating hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars to the school every year, it'd be nice to ask them to donate some of that directly to our trip. And that's tough to navigate. It's tough to ask that question, or even figure out who those people are. But also, it's important to think about who stands to benefit from a trip like this. And global health is really hard, and then it's very hard for someone to see how they're going to benefit. Like, doesn't sound exactly like that. I give you money and I benefit from this, but it's hard to see how your money's going to be used in a way that matters to you, like really matters to you, that you're willing to give up thousands of dollars. So that's something that we have to spend a lot of time thinking about, is not only who's just got money that's willing to be gracious and support our trip, but also who stands to benefit in some way that they would be willing to donate for that reason.